more people are golfing than ever right now because it is something that you can do outside without this thing on, right? They're basically customizing every single one of my clubs. It's all kinds of a science. It's not cheap to be able to do this. It could shave strokes off of your game. Today is a big day. How is my lens? It's dirty. Today I'm gonna do something that I've always wanted to do. I'm going to get fitted by some professionals. They take a look at your swing, they look at the clubs that you have now, they let you try a bunch of different ones, they look at the data on the TrackMan, and then you make a decision on which clubs will work best with you. Club Champion is the place that I chose because it's the closest to my house. This video is not sponsored by this company. The thing about this is that you have access to every single club manufacturer and all of these different types of shafts. There's no promise that you're going to be shooting 5 to 10 strokes lower because you have these fancy clubs. But with golf, you want to have consistency and using the clubs that work for your swing. That should be one of the more important things if you're able to spend the money and do it, because it's also not cheap to be able to do this. So I'm gonna take you along, show you a little bit of the process. These are my current clubs. Let's see. Oh. TaylorMade M6s. Good clubs. I haven't had them for that long. I have a Titleist TS2 driver. And I'm not changing the white ice putter because I'm kind of in love with it. We also have Jonathan, our home builder and friend, Jonathan Christian. He's going to get some new clubs potentially too. We might walk out of here with the same clubs that we already came in with. And also, it's Corona time, so I'm gonna be golfing indoors with a mask on. I don't golf with a mask on when I'm outside. It just doesn't make sense, so mask on, let's go. Okay, so here's what's going on. We are inside of the hitting bay, and there's all kinds of club heads and clubs, shafts behind me. Whew. Gotta wear a mask indoors, which is a little stuffy. All right, pressure's on.
Pressure's on.
I gotta hit some balls.
On tour, 90 to 95 feet is what we want for apex. So we're in that realm already, okay? Right. If you look already though, you went from 193 carry to 206. Less roll up, more stopping power.
Apparently, I hit those three pretty dang good. That doesn't always happen. I'm not a fantastic golfer. I have learned how to hit inside of a TrackMan.
If you look on the right there, landing angle. So we want that landing angle to go higher because that means it's steeper. So the higher that landing angle is, the more stopping power you get. That makes sense?
Yeah. He's just doing that himself over here on this little machine. That's really cool. It shows you your lie angle, it shows you the loft, and then he can go in and just bend it. Just bending the clubs.
You went half a degree weaker.
Okay, with the irons. My irons are good and I'm hitting them pretty well. So now we're gonna switch over to the wedges and I'm gonna take a look at my bounce and my lie and how I'm hitting it. On the bottom of the wedge, there is this little sticker on there and it's really sensitive, and when I hit this plate right here, it's going to show what part of the club on the bottom that I hit it on. I just barely tested it out and I was hitting on the toe right here. Okay, so I'm still hitting it on the toe of the club, which is not the greatest. You want to be a little bit lower down. It's all kinds of a science. And honestly, if you want to become a better golfer and get lower scores, you need to be better from 100 yards and in to the hole. If you can get up and down, that's where most amateur players lose the most strokes. I know that's what I do too. If you can get up and down and have 2 strokes, that's great, but most people it's like 4 strokes from 80 yards in because you're chipping a couple of times or you're putting 3 times. So getting the wedge dialed in properly, actually it's not the most exciting thing. It's not like bombing a driver, but it could shave the most strokes off of your game. Thanks, bro. I always put you to work. I'm nervous, still a little bit. I think it's still a little toey, maybe. Probably just me.
We're getting better though. See how that's going to the center now? I'm gonna keep it at 2 degrees. I don't want to go 3 degrees on the wedge because then you maybe start pulling.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of numbers. I won't put them all in here because most of you are gonna be like, what is this? What are all these lie numbers, loft numbers? They're basically customizing every single one of my clubs, but there's one additional step that Club Champion does out of their headquarters out of Chicago. They take all of the clubs before they put the heads on, they take the shafts, and they put them on this machine, and it's called, they pure your clubs. It's an extra $30 for the shaft, but what they do is they bend it back and forth. It's like this machine shakes it, and if it's not pure, and if there's some inconsistencies, it spins, and if it is pure, it's gonna go back and forth. And then once they get that spot, that's when they're gonna put the head on in the right angle. It's a little extra step that you're not gonna get when you typically go to a store and you just buy something off of the rack.
So this is the list of PGA Tour guys that have SST Pure.
So all of these guys have pure clubs. I'm just looking for Tiger Woods.
At the bottom right.
Oh, he made the list. Well, if Tiger makes his clubs pure, then I better.
JT,
Ricky
Justin,
Fowler.
Danny Lee,
Hey, Zach Blair's coming here. He's from our hometown.
Yep.
This has been really fast. I think I signed up for a 3.5-hour session. The irons we got through really quickly. The wedges, super helpful. I'm getting the blue Mizunos, which is cool. It looked like my blue Roadster. I'm happy so far with this. And now driver. I have a TaylorMade TS2. It's a good shaft, but I don't know. I've never had a professional like look at it and say, is this good or not, or how are your numbers? So yeah, let's check it out.
There you go. You can't beat that. We went from 234 carry to 261 carry. That's almost 30 yards there. Your spin rate's perfect with that model. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, the TS3 will perform a little lower spinning, but we want optimized spin so the ball can get in the air and stay in carry and roll out.
Cool.
Okay. Breakdown by cost here. Okay, the 790s market pricing. Okay, $174.99. The wedges per wedge, $149.95, and then you have here the shafts for all your wedges. Okay, $67.95. Again, that's with installment.
I'm done with my fitting. I did not get a new driver. I did not get to even try my 3 woods. I am getting 2 new Mizuno wedges. Like, I wouldn't have thought I was gonna get some blue Mizuno wedges. I also got some P790s for my 7-iron down to, I think, pitching wedge or gap wedge. And then my other irons, like the 4, 5, and 6, I'm just gonna keep them. They were off the rack, but they're really good clubs. They're very forgiving, and they hit the ball straight, and that's what I need. I don't need to be able to work my 4, 5, and 6 iron. Just gonna hit it straight. When I came into this, I wanted to know, is it worth it to do a full club fitting where you have an expert look at it? My answer is yes. I feel like with my irons, he really tweaked a lot of the different things with the loft and the lie angle that's going to help me be a little more consistent and be able to hit the shot that I need to hit for my swing. Golf is a hard sport, like it's super hard, and so you might as well fight with your own body and your own swing and not have to fight or adjust to your clubs because they're set up improperly. If you have the money and you have the time, I definitely recommend doing this. The jury's still out on how much better I'll be. It's gonna take 4 to 6 weeks till I get my clubs. I will play with them, and then I wanna give you an update 6 months later. Am I a better golfer? Do I still think it was a good move? Do I like my clubs? Do I hate my clubs? It's gonna be some kind of video along those lines, and I'll give you my update. All right, thanks for watching. You know, with our YouTube channel, it's like blue everything. This thing is blue. I've never seen a blue iron before. I thought it was kind of a gimmick, but it hits solid every single time pretty much. They're gonna add my name to that list right below Tiger Woods, as my clubs are pure. Oh yeah, the pure shaft is pure.